Yesterday I also received message saying that there are about 5 or 6 people coming from London, and then 4 from Vietnam already confirmed. Um, they are going to apply visa yesterday. They went to apply visa yesterday. So this would be a historical event for us. And yesterday, one of the ladies passed away due to the old age. And I was talking to one of the members. She asked that why now we are hearing more news regarding deaths. And my response was that we are getting old and it is inevitable that we won't hear these things. We will hear it again and again. So our life is uncertain, and according to Buddhism, we know that our life is a combination of mind and a body, collectively known as the 5 aggregates. And this is, Buddha also said that this in fact is our world, which normally people do not think in that way. People normally think that a world is out there, it's like this earth or the universe is the world, whereas in Buddhism, Buddha taught that the world is within ourselves. And the world here, according to the Buddha, is the 5 aggregates. And this 5 aggregate again is not the actual world itself, but the attachment to this 5 aggregate in fact causes the trouble. When you look at it from the Buddhist perspective, so all things exist in accordance to their own nature. They do not exist as a separate, fixed entities. And in terms of the beings or creatures, living beings are also not distinct and immeasurable. So everything that exists in the world exists as a collection of other parts coming together, forming it. And each one does not have inherent or a substantial self that will not change. But rather, when things separates, then we find that there is nothing left. When we look at that, a very classical example that we can find in the scripture is the vehicle. The vehicle is not one solid identity. It's a combination of so many other factors coming together. The very moment when you disseminate all these parts, the cart or the wagon, or those days, now current day it would be the vehicles, then we will see only the different parts. Further on, each and every different parts are again coming from different places, made in different countries nowadays. So the fact that the, the concept of the self or an entity of a vehicle uh, does not exist separate from its constituent parts. The term car, as a result, for instance, is simply a conventional designation. Similarly, our body also, the different constituents coming together make form of this life. So, according to Buddhist principles, there are two main factors. One is called Rupa, another one is called Nama. Rupa has got the four other components, which is to feel, to remember, to create, and to know. And the first factor of these aggregates is known as Rupa, or a corporality, or a materiality. That's again made up of four components too. Major elements: the earth, the water, the fire, the wind. So when we talk about our life, that's why either we can say it as Nama and Rupa, mind, body, or five aggregates, the corporality, feeling, perception, karma formation, and consciousness. Or even we can break it down further, that is the six senses: eye, ear, nose, tongue, and the body, and the mind. So these are known as our life. And this life, we have no control over it. This life, we can keep it for a long time. And yet we are living on this, in this body. And this is called our life. So when we talk about the corporality, or the Rupa, is basically is our physical body. It's called a Sarira Dhatu. The element of this entire body is called a Rupa. The Rupa doesn't feel, doesn't think, and Rupa cannot move on its own wish. It can move only when there is the mind. And this corporality, Sarira, Rupa, or Sarira Dhatu, is made of four main elements, and then there are other elements. It's called Upadhyaya Rupa, concomitant factors, 28 factors in it. Only then it functions. And when we break it down according to the Buddhist scripture, this Rupa itself can break it down into a tiny particles, and that tiny particle is called a kalapa. And this kalapa, again, made up of 8 elements, which has got the 4 major elements, and then there's the shape, the color, the space, like that. And with that, it's called a one kalapa, like a tiny atom of each cells of this body. Now this is very scientific, but this was found by the Buddha and explained in such a detail like this. What Buddha further said that this is the body that belongs to us, which we think, but in fact it is not. It's not ours, and it's not something that will remain to us all the time and never have to die. But the Buddha's instruction is that it's not that having this rupa is a problem, but the attachment called rupupadana khandha dukkha that we normally chant in the morning every day. We say rupupadana khandha, vedanupadana khandha, sannyupadana khandha, sankharupadana khandha, Vijnanopadana khandha. As long as we attach to these 5 aggregates, at the moment let's talk about the first one, the rupa, then that is the source of suffering. So we also reflect on one of another suttas. It's called a Parahara Sutta. Para Sutta. It says Paraharo cha pukkalo. This sarira, this body, is burden that we have to carry from one place to another. It won't carry. Doesn't matter how hard it is thirsty, it won't go to get the water. So mind has to commission it, only then that moves. So this attachment is the source of the suffering, and in the meantime Buddha further said that and instructed us to reflect on that rupang anicca. So this sarira element, dhatu, this physical body is anicca, impermanent. This is changing. Look at our own body. We were young, child, and then grown up gradually, and then we become an elder, and now become a senior. Our face has changed, our physical body has changed. The way it deals with the weather or people or the condition has changed, which we all can relate to our life. Never been the same. The more we become elder and elder, we see that so many other factors are influencing our maintenance of this body. Getting sick, much easier. Scary to be fractured by any little damages or little folds. And we have no control over it, not to let it dissolve. It will dissolve. So the Buddha clearly said that what we have to practice is not to be attached to it. And understanding that these are made out of different elements coming together, forming it, and we are simply living in it. So it's very important to understand it clearly. The moment when you understand it, there won't be any questions of your practice. So we are very fortunate that we got this opportunity to learn the Dhamma and opportunity to practice the Dhamma despite living such a far distance and despite we're born such a long gap after the Buddha, 2000 years later, we have this opportunity to study and to practice so that we will develop the knowledge not to be attached to it, but rather having a full understanding and liberating ourselves. So today I offer as this is as a reflection only on the first factors of the five aggregates,